Welcome Techies. Welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to create AKS based Kubernetes cluster and deploy customized Nginx application using Azure Container Registry, which is a private repository which we have created. So here we are avoiding public repository like Docker Hub or GitHub like that. So we are trying to simulate a project from an organization point of view where a developer provides an application image by pushing into Azure Container Registry and SRE performs deployment using that application image in Kubernetes. Alright, let's simulate this scenario with customized Nginx image. Outcome of this session is expecting this locally developed means the same Nginx image, only this web page is different. So this let's consider as a locally developed application, and this we want to expose into the internet. So currently it is in local file, and we want to keep it as like publicly accessible over internet. So that is the expectation. Okay, let's start. So let's log into Microsoft Azure and search Kubernetes service. Then we will be getting this one, and click here by creating here. Just fill our resource group. As we are testing it, let's choose dev test and give any name like wait my wait yes. Okay, then region let's use South India only. Version let's use default. Free. Here we have as I am using free subscription, I'm allowed for 4 only. So I have to reduce to CPU general purpose. This is the one I think. Yeah. This is less cost as well as it is 2 CPU only. So I will reduce the count node is 2. This autoscaling is recommended, no autoscale manual only is enough. Just 2. People with node encryption, that all will keep it as default. We are going to use Kubernetes, DNS, enable HTTP application routing because we are using Nginx, and then enable private cluster, authorized IP range. We'll use Calico. This is widely used for even CK exam uses this, and that is also using Calico. And then container registry, we are going to use our own container registry, which is my own ACR repo. I will talk about this how this container registry came. Okay, I will tell now only. So here there is another video where how the Azure container registry is created, and then from virtual machine how to create a virtual machine and deploy Docker. From there I have downloaded the Nginx full image from Docker Hub, and then we have customized like this web page, uh, and then pushing it to Azure container registry. Now that whole step is covered in this video, so let's skip that part in our container part, the case part. So here we have created our own ACR repo. So that is reason I'm selecting that, and then container monitoring not record, disabled policy. This all we keep it for default. Final validation. Okay, validation passed. Let's create racing deployment. So deployment is in progress. Deployment details. So here all the details we can see. Okay, your deployment is complete. Took some time. Let's go to source and see that our Calico network is enabled. All this local subnet has been created. So let's connect. So to connect, we need to follow these three steps, like open cloud cell, and then or you can use Azure CLI and then connect with this application. So this is like the subscription ID and then credential to connect to that my K8 AKS Kubernetes cluster. Okay, let's use open cloud cell. If you're a first time user, then this will not open. You have to click run like that, configure like that. So once I click this, it automatically copied this Azure account and on credential everything. So now if I copy this, currently nothing is deployed from my side, but yeah, this is from while creating cluster, whatever we mentioned, the kube system is part of cluster components. So all the components relevant to Kubernetes cluster is created, and then Calico network is also applied, and the car operator is also applied. So that's it. It is ready. Kubernetes cluster is ready. Now we are going to pull the image from Azure Container Registry and deploy here. So that is our task. So how to do that? So here we have under Azure Container Registry documentation for Kubernetes, we have some documentation like registry Azure Kubernetes service. So this is like connect with that registry and pull that image. So this is one step, and one more option is like connect to registry using service principal and then create secret for Kubernetes level security, and then this is from Azure level service principal ID is used, what kind of access is having that kind of, and so once we create that, then we can do deploy with our secret. So when we pass this image pull secret Azure secret, and then this will be connecting to that our registry, and then it will try to pull that image. So that is steps we'll do. It just copy this. Also one more method is there which is unauthenticated pull request. So just you enable it, and you will be allowed to connect with that Azure Container Registry, and you can download the image and then you can deploy. So there are three methods available, but we will go with that secret method, which is more secure, and this will give you some challenge to learn also. So let's use this method. Okay, go here, vi service principal .sh, paste. So here just enter our container registry name. Go here. So this is our registry. Up to this is extended by Azure only, so we have to give up to here only container registry name. Even if you give full also, it will ignore it, so no problem. And then service principal, just give one understanding purpose, my service principal. That's it. Save it. Give executable permission, change mode plus ex service principal. Then run that service principal script. Okay. So we got we have service principal ID, we have service principal password. Now the next step is creating the secret. So how to create secret? Just using the service principal occur registry and secret name. Just you give again like my secret, and then namespace if you want to deploy with if you didn't specify it will deploy in the default one, but if you specify it will do that. But you have to this welcome namespace should be there, so we have to create namespace accordingly. And then this registry name, uh, again to here, and then service principal ID, then password. Now if you execute, it won't execute because no namespace available. So let's create the namespace. kubectl create namespace welcome. So this is created. Now if we run, this secret will be created. So now let's check kubectl even keep pods and welcome. So currently no parts installed, and we will try to install one by one. Okay, to deploy, we want to expose into the public. So what we need to do is like here the sample is like pod, but we have to use deployment, because once we deploy only then we can expose as a service, and then uh, we can check from the internet. So, however, this is also sample one we will try to use. Okay, so what kind of image available with us now? So go to container registry whichever you have created, and then there is a repository. So here K8 Nginx, my Nginx, both are there. So this is for in the previous session, the video which I have shown here, it is covered how it is created. So let's use K8 Nginx for Kubernetes purpose. It is created. Okay, so I will give K8 Nginx, namespace is welcome, and then again I will give this K8 Nginx. If not present, then pull it from the container registry. Then my secret, that is secret which we created is my secret. Pull policy is correct, and then registry we have to change. The registry is my own ACR repo. So up to here we change it. That's it. So create my pod.yaml file. And this is something already exists. I will remove my store. Okay. Now let's create my pod Okay, now deploy it. kubectl create of my pod YAML. So this has created. Let's check it now. kubectl get pods. Still it is telling no resource found because we have created in the namespace of welcome. So always when you create a namespace, then under namespace only you have to check. But whatever we execute without the namespace, it will only check in the default. So yeah, so now it is running. So yeah, this is the expected way. Now that is fine for internal application running all those things. In our case, we want to expose it to the internet, so we have to create a different manner. So let me delete this kubectl delete part and k8 nginx minus namespace welcome. If you didn't specify namespace, again it won't delete. Okay, it got deleted. Okay, so let's go here. So how to create deployment? So here the other method, this is the complete YAML file for deployment. So as a kind, we have to mention it's whether it's a service or pod deployment. Hope you are aware of that Kubernetes part. Uh, so accordingly, we have to modify this and then we have to create. Okay. So let's create with deployment. So our deployment application name is this one, Nginx, and then we will put namespace also where we want to deploy. Let's use welcome. Label is Nginx replica. Let's put 2 and Nginx, and then my image name, image pull policy. If not present, only pull it. Image pull request my secret. So everything is fine. Let's deploy. The same way we go here and create my deploy one file name YAML file and then paste it here. Okay, kubectl create my deploy.yaml. So it has created. Now let's check kubectl get deploy. Again nothing. Let's specify the namespace. Yes. So it has deployed two out of two is ready and both are available. It's deployed. Let's check the two parts running or not. kubectl get parts -n welcome. So here two parts are running. Now we have to expose it to the internet. How we will do? So we need to create service. So service is like uh, this port mapping, and this port we expose it to outside of the pod to the node, and from that node we will be exposing it to the public IP. That IP we will be able to access in the web page. So to expose it to the internet, we need one public IP. So we have to create one public IP. So here we can create it. So for that, let's get already existing IP list. Just copy this. Here, if we go this tag, we have cluster name, Azure cluster name, and then Kubernetes, modern HTTP application routing, Nginx, ingress, and then we have cluster name, manage outbound IP, then tag is public IP address. Okay, so our is part of this front-end IP application, which their tag as the cluster name and then RG. So we'll try with this public IP. So we need to create a service. So this is the one to create service YAML file. Let's change it to Kubernetes, and then we'll put namespace also welcome. Okay, so we are using load balancer method. We have cluster IP, node port, and load balancer, 3 type of service. So we'll use load balancer because we are running 2 replicas. Okay, bi my service dot YAML. Everything is ready. Now let's deploy. Okay, it is created. kubectl git service -n welcome. Okay, so this the load balancer has cluster IP, and then this is the external IP, and the port is 31650. This is exposed. So let's check this IP. And port is, we got 31650. 31650. Let's describe it. kubectl describe svc -n welcome. Port is 80. Let's try with port 80 only. Yes. So we are now able to access it. So finally our web page is, people from the internet, anyone can access this web page. So this is how the application is deployed in the Kubernetes. Okay, so when you are practicing, you can go with all these 3 methods, like just deployment method or pod method, and then you can use with authenticate with the secret method, or without authentication. So all these options you can try it out and explore. Also you can create the using Azure CLI command. So this is also possible. So everything you can explore it by your own interest. So that's it. So the end of the session, we could see that from the container registry, how we have pushed to the image, and from there how we pull the image, and then we deployed the Kubernetes deployment. So we have almost seen everything. Just container registry past is not in this, not covered in this session, but you can watch it in this uh, uh, um, title, and that will be helpful to understand before coming to this session. Yeah, hope this is useful, and see you in the next session. Thank you.